promised I would do this video before turning in for the night. And I do have something a little more serious to talk about tomorrow, but we'll get to that tomorrow. So we'll do like some fun stuff and a little bit of serious stuff too, because there is a conversation to be had, but that's for tomorrow. For today, we're going to talk about Laurie Boschman. Player I immediately liked, may very well be because his first name was Laurie. And even as a little kid, I was like, I feel the pain of having a name normally associated with a woman. I can explain till I'm red in the face that Shannon was a man's name before North America made it a woman's name. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. It matters not. And I'm sure Laurie could have explained to people, hey, this has been a man's name before. It's still, Laurie, your name's Laurie. Whatever. Laurie Boschman's drafted 9th overall by the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1979. This is the Harold Ballard-controlled Toronto Maple Leafs, so get ready for some surprises. 79-80, he plays a full 80-game schedule right out of the gate. So, solid debut, 16 goals, 32 assists, 48 points, and for this career, I am looking at penalty minutes, and he had 78. And penalty minutes are kind of key. 80-81, he spends some time in the minors. And because Harold Ballard is Harold Ballard, he complains about Laurie Boschman. 53 games played when he is in the NHL, 14 goals, 19 assists, 33 points. Grand total of 178 penalty minutes. So, pretty good so far. 81-82, he is born again. He becomes a Christian, joins church. Harold Ballard hates it. He doesn't want some born-again Christian on his team. And then Boschman, because of the born-again, he starts to fear or starts to say, soft player. Well, on the ice, that's not the case. 54 games, 9 goals, 19 assists, 28 points, 150 penalty minutes. But again, a lot of chin-wagging by Harold Ballard, and he ends up getting traded. For the record, and it's not on the board, Laurie Boschman still does a lot of Christian work surrounding hockey. I did look at that before while I was putting this video together, and so he is still doing some good in the community. Good for him. But Harold Ballard wouldn't have cared. All he cared about is, what are you doing on the ice, and do you get that religion out of my locker room? So March 8th, 1982, he is traded to Toronto for Phil Drouillard and Walt Podubny. So he is now a member of the Oilers. Plays 11 games, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points for the Oilers, and 37 penalty minutes for said Oilers. Goes into the playoffs, and that's the year that the Oilers are upset in 3 games by the LA Kings in the first round. So, not a great start to his playoff career. 82-83, plays 62 games for the Edmonton Oilers. 8 goals, 12 assists, 20 points, 183 penalty minutes. So, he is struggling offensively. Struggling at this stage to come up and to meet the expectations of a number 9 overall draft pick. So the Edmonton Oilers, kind of understandably, decide they're going to ship him out. They ship him to Winnipeg for Willie Lindstrom. Lindstrom, I like Willie Lindstrom a lot. That's a guy who may at some point get a video as well. Because why not, right? So Laurie Boschman ends up in Winnipeg, and immediately it works. It works so well, unlike this logo combination doesn't work, and I've got the New Jets logo because I don't have this logo and mini magnets, so first world problems and all. 12 games, 3 goals, 5 assists. That's what he records after being traded to Winnipeg. 33 penalty minutes. Then he gets swept in the playoffs again. So it's kind of a theme that he ends up on teams that get swept in the first round, but he does experience some success with the Winnipeg Jets. Those fleeting times the Winnipeg Jets have that success. But his first full season, he plays 61 games. 28 goals, 46 assists, 74 points. And when I mean full season in Winnipeg, of course. 234 penalty minutes, which leads the team. Not only that, he leads the team in 3-star selections. So he wins the Molson Cup, which is something we don't have anymore, and we should. I miss the Molson Cup. It was fun to see who was leading. You would see, like, when you looked at 3-star standings, you go, wow, that guy's actually having a pretty good year. I hadn't realized just how solid a year this guy was having. He's been in the 3 stars that often. 84-85, 80 games played, 32 goals, 44 assists, 76 points. So that's the highest point total of his career. It is one of a few times that he would play 80 games. So he's getting healthier. 180 penalty minutes. So he's getting cleaner too. That's where Harold Ballard somewhere was going. See, I told you he was soft. Penalty minutes are below 200. Soft. 85, 86, 77 games, 27 goals, 42 assists, 69 points. 241 penalty minutes, which was his career high. So again, Boschman, very well known at this stage, and a big part of an offense that the Winnipeg Jets are trying to use to get over the hill, or over that hump. Remember, 84, 85, and 86, this is where you're looking at first Edmonton being a juggernaut, and then Calgary kind of becomes a juggernaut in 86 as well. So tough go of it. 86, 87, his offense kind of drops away. Plays 80 games. 17 goals, 24 assists, 41 points, 152 penalty minutes. 87, 88, 80 games played. He has his final 20-goal season as he scores 25. 23 assists, 48 points, 227 penalty minutes. That's a lot. 88, 89, 70 games played, 10 goals, 26 assists, 36 points, 163 penalty minutes. He took a lot of penalties. 89, 90, plays 66 games, 10 goals, 17 assists, 27 points, 103 penalty minutes. Now, he plays 66 games, partly due to injury, but February 16th of 1990, he was suspended 8 games for a high-sticking incident involving Thomas Sandstrom of the LA Kings. Thomas Sandstrom was a Class A agitator, and there were a lot of retaliatory penalties that were taken against Sandstrom. So Boschman loses his cool, Sandstrom being Sandstrom and all, and he loses 8 games as a result. So in the offseason, September 6, 1990, he is traded to the New Jersey Devils. It's the first time he's played for an American team. His first 3 all being Canadian, and his 5th ends up being Canadian as well. But the 4th in between is New Jersey. He was traded for Bob Brook. Bob Brook retired that summer, so they had to kind of go back and figure it out. And so they make a 1991 5th-round draft pick, what Winnipeg gets back for Laurie Boschman. He goes to New Jersey, not bad totals, considering at this point he's a 4th liner, 78 games, 11 goals, 9 assists, 20 points, and 79 penalty minutes. So the penalty minutes take a severe nosedive there, as had been hinted to the year before, which includes, the 8-game suspension. You got to think he got suspended in game, right? 91-92, plays 75 games, 8 goals, 20 assists, 28 points, 121 penalty minutes. He is drafted in the expansion draft by the Ottawa Senators. Played for one of the worst teams to ever hit the ice, a team that won 10 games. He played 70 out of that 80, I think it was an 84-game schedule that year. I'm trying to remember if it was 82, 84. I think it was 84. 9 goals, 7 assists, 16 points, 101 penalty minutes. He then went over and played for Fife in the BHL. So if you're a European fan, you might be like, hey, didn't Laurie Boschman play? Yeah. Played in the BHL for the Fife Flyers. So he played there, closed out his career and retired after that. Played a grand total of 1,009 games. So this wasn't just some nobody here. 229 goals, not bad. 348 assists, 577 points. 2,260 penalty minutes. So maybe he just asked for forgiveness after the games. Maybe that's just how it worked. Or maybe it's just part of hockey, that sometimes penalties take place, sometimes fights take place, and that's just part of the game. Interesting career. Anytime you look at a career of somebody who's played in the league that long, it is going to be an interesting career. And so Boschman may never get into a Hall of Fame, but I'll throw him in mine. I'll throw him in the THG Hall of Fame, because why not? He played 1,000 games, unheralded, over 2,000 penalty minutes. He was a tough player. Like I said, there are some that would probably argue he might have been a little bit dirty at times. Thomas Sandstrom would probably have that argument as well. Definitely not the only one who ever got suspended. I'm pretty sure other players got suspended for incidents, including Thomas Sandstrom. He was the first captain as well for the Ottawa Senators. So that first year, he was their team captain. And I remember kind of being proud of him. That first game, that first game out when Ottawa had some enthusiasm, and they won that game, and I thought, maybe Ottawa's actually going to be a good team, and then they just weren't. That was a pipe dream, and they just weren't very good. But Boschman didn't complain. He didn't complain while he was there, and he made for a solid captain for that first year for the Ottawa Senators. A nice long career as a Winnipeg Jet, so if you're old enough to remember the original Jets that were these, You may remember Laurie Boschman as well. And I remember him because I remember hockey back then. And yeah, he was one of my favorites. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.